That truck looks abandoned, unsafe, and this washing is flooding the entire driveway.
All right, whose truck is this, and why is it being washed here right now?
I used that truck my whole life. When my body gave out, it was all I had left.
I didn't break any law, but the first thing I heard that morning wasn't a thank you or a question. It was someone asking why the police had been called. Just an hour earlier, I was standing in a quiet driveway, rinsing years of farm dirt off a Dodge Ram 2500 powered by a Cummins diesel, the kind of truck built to work hard and last forever, now coated in layers of dried mud and dust from seasons spent hauling feed, tools, and equipment across open land. The elderly man who owned it stood nearby with his wife, shoulders slumped, hands trembling slightly as he explained that the truck used to be his livelihood. He had worked as a farm hand and maintenance worker for most of his life, driving before sunrise and coming home after dark, and even when his health failed. He couldn't bring himself to sell it because letting go of the truck felt like admitting he was done. The windshield had grown cloudy, the headlights dim behind grime, and he admitted he was scared to drive at night now. But it was still the only way they could get groceries and make doctor appointments. They lived in a rented place with no garage, surrounded by trees and dirt paths, and every storm left the truck looking worse than before. His wife stayed close to him as I worked, one hand on his arm, quietly saying he couldn't bend or scrub anymore without risking a fall, and that paying for regular washes or repairs simply wasn't possible. As the foam slid down the doors and the glass slowly cleared, the man watched in silence, his eyes following every streak of clean metal like he was seeing a piece of himself come back. When then the mood shifted, a voice from across the street broke the calm, sharp, and impatient, complaining about the noise, the water running across the driveway, the way the truck looked like it had been sitting too long. The neighbor didn't ask who it belonged to or why it was there. They listed concerns instead. Oil leaks, safety hazards, visibility, property rules, saying it didn't look roadworthy and shouldn't be there at all. Minutes later, a police cruiser pulled up, lights off but presence heavy, and suddenly this old truck and the couple standing beside it felt like they were on trial. The officer asked questions, requested documents, glanced at the wet concrete and the foam pooling near the tires, while the neighbor stood nearby insisting this was a problem that needed to be handled. The elderly man tried to explain, voice low and unsteady, that the truck wasn't abandoned, that it was still theirs, still necessary, but years of work and illness don't sound convincing when reduced to a checklist. His wife squeezed his arm tighter, and I realized how quickly a lifetime of labor could be mistaken for neglect by someone who only sees a dirty truck.